morning, beautiful. It's lovely to see you. Lovely to be out here. Let me not waste any time and show you the flowers. I'm going to attempt, I know I can't walk all the way over to show you this magnolia because the Wi-Fi will die, but there it is from a distance. Maybe I'll need to get my camera and take some close-ups, but this is a seed that fell out of a birdie's bottom, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. And I identified the seedling, I knew what it was, and I grew it and I planted it there, and it's a wild thing. It's going to be very big very soon. If we just keep going, you can see the little antique daffodils there in the terrace garden, and some little teeny tiny daffodils as well. We'll go and look at things closer. I'm still absolutely loving the cassia bush. Just the shape of it and the way it grows and the lovely red colour of the leaves as they get old and fall off. It's just fabulous. And you can see all these wonderful things growing in the crib wall, which will flower later. And you can see Granny's bonnet, which will also flower later. So it's all gearing itself up for the spring explosion. It really is the beginning of spring now. You know, the narcissus, the daffodils and the jonquils are actually a winter thing. Hello, Nesreen! Look, you can see that there's another magnolia that's just about ready to burst into bloom. And the lemon tree, well, the lemons are suddenly turning yellow, so, you know, we can eat them now. And we have all the little gentlemen. Good morning, Amy! Good morning, Misty! Aren't they fabulous? They just stand here all in a row being gorgeous. And they smell good too. And then we still have all the bulbs up the back and the star magnolia, which presently is the star of the show. So let's go for a walk. And, well, you can get closer to this floral extravagance, which is a magnolia tree. This one's taken a very long time to get to this size. It's at least 20 years old. And it's not even as tall as I am, but it's happening faster now. So, you know, these buds are blush with and they're white on the inside and kind of scrawly of them. And the paper white you can see is nearly done. But we just have so many snowflakes. Look at that. The bunch just gets bigger and bigger, makes more and more flowers. That all wakes up. And then, you know, we've got lots of jonquils here. Some of them are starting to age. We get up close. And they're just beautiful to enjoy. There you are. And look, you can see a little snail in the cup of this one. And there's a little, some kind of fly or bug here. Everything's a home for something else, I tell you. And then these are actually daffodils. They're delicate, they look like jonquils, but they're a single flower on a single stem, and so they're daffodils, and aren't they lovely? Good morning, Linda. They're very tall, they're very elegant. You can see the buds back there. And they're late, because daffodils always come after jonquils. So that is the garden ramble this morning. Oh, and look, one more thing. Got to enjoy the soldiers and sailors because it's in full swing. Look at that, it's fabulous. And you can see the white hyacinths coming up in the back as well, so they'll be all out very soon. Good morning, Janine. So there it is. That's the spring garden, really starting to gear up. Oh, I have to show you this too, because yeah, and it needs weeding. It always needs weeding. But see this wonderful blue creeper? I don't know what it is. And it mixes beautifully with the native cotula. And they don't fight. They support each other. And it's lovely. And yeah, there's grass to pull out. But I love this. It's like carpet. So, right, turn the camera around and get to the topic. Stand me up before I fall over. Okay, so today... It's interesting, a couple of you have asked me really the same question. And it's about manifestation and the whole thing of why the hell isn't this happening? And in particular, this thing that we sort of get the idea is what you're supposed to do. G'day, Robin. G'day, Jen. this thing that you think you're supposed to do, which is, you get very clear about what the thing is that you want, and you affirm it, and you think positive thoughts about it, and, that whole law of attraction thing, which is kind of the top level of the cake, I think, about how this actually works. And you do that for however long, and it doesn't show up. And in fact, it's almost like whatever it is you want just doesn't show up. Glenn, Lisa Louise, good morning, beautifuls. It's like the more you want it, the less it comes. And what's with that? What the hell is going on? I'm putting all this intention and focus, and I'm, with this thing, and it's not here. And I'm starting to think, what the hell am I doing wrong? What am I missing? What is wrong with me? And I'm doing all this intending. I'm saying my affirmations. I'm envisioning. I'm even trying to feel the feeling of having the thing here, and it's just not freaking happening. If anything, it's not happening more. What's the deal with that? Okay, so that's the thing we're talking about today. And I thought, well, what is the deal with that? Particularly when it's not just that it's not happening, but it seems like the reverse happens. What is the story there? So this is what I know. And it's interesting because the same messages are coming through. There is a thread here. Yeah, frustration, okay? That frustration when you're doing everything you know how to do and it's still not fucking happening. What is the deal with that? So this is what I know. That when there's something that you want, as soon as you recognize that you want it, the very nature of being human means I'm here and that thing that I want is over there. It's not me, right? It's separate from me. It's apart from me. Cynthia, good morning. And that's just normal. You get up in the morning, you think, I want a cup of coffee. I don't, by the way. I've never had a cup of coffee in my life. Everybody be horrified. Bitter, don't like it, smells good, don't want to drink it. So now that we've had that shock little announcement, you get up, you're in bed, you think, I want my cup of coffee in the morning. You're aware that you're in bed and the coffee maker is in the kitchen. It's just what happens. There's you in bed and you in the kitchen, and you start to imagine yourself go to the kitchen or wherever, whatever you do first thing in the morning. Your brain knows that habit. You're not even awake. You just get up and you push the button because you loaded it the night before because you know what you're like. But you're not there yet. You're aware of the space between where you are and where that thing is. And there is a process of getting your body from the bedroom to the kitchen and pushing the button and loading the machine or whatever you have to do that you got to go through to get there. So it is normal to notice the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But what happens for almost all of us, almost all the time, is that as soon as we recognise we want something, we are aware, as you say, Nezreen, that we're in lack. I don't have it. And the more we want something and desire it and try for it and effort for it and hope for it and pray for it, the more we are actually affirming how much we don't have it. And remember, the universe has to endorse who you are being. And by who you are being, I do not mean the positive affirmations and the I'm doing this and this is how it is. I mean the 95% of you that you are not even conscious of. I mean your unconscious thoughts and feelings and beliefs. And I'm going to tell you an absolutely poignant and real story about that because it happened to me yesterday. So my dear friend Sang-Marie, who a good chunk of you know, lives in the Gambia. And, I made this crazy decision a year and a half ago to try and help him through his nursing training. So, we've just accomplished this wonderful thing of getting him to be able to be paid monthly, which is great. And I was thinking, marvellous. I won't have to do any money stuff for a month, right? But Sang-Marie's been unwell. And normally he bounces back, he copes, he's got all the things that he does. But it's been so bad and so hanging on and not getting better that he's had to go to the clinic. He's had to go to the pharmacies. He had to get some testing done because it's the malaria season. And he has to pay for it and he needs some medicine. And he needs money to pay for the medicine. And so, I'm in Facebook doing my thing in the evening, and I see a message pop up from him saying, I need to do this. And my first thought was, honey, we don't have any money. Without a word of a lie. That was what I thought. I was like, hold the phone, Maddie. Pardon? I mean, first of all, after I'd got hold of myself, I thought, oh my God, what a lackful thought. That's not true. There is money there. Now, the real thought that was going on in my head was, oh my God, that's going to mean I'm not going to have enough money to pay him at the end of the month. That's another lackful thought that says, whatever's coming in is all we've got. There's never going to be any more. Nobody will help. Hi, Elizabeth, darling. Hi, Jocelyn. It's like, oh, it's shut down. It's just got a glass ceiling on it. And if I take that $65 and send it to Sang Marie, who really needs it now, there just won't be anything extra at the end of the month. That's just how it's going to be. Wait a moment. What a lackful, fearful, limited thought. Oh my God. So I sort of wound myself back and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm still really just going into survival and fear. As soon as there's something unknown, something unusual, something that disrupts the order of things, like, oh no, not enough. And that tells me my still unconscious state of being about money. It's there, it's great, I'm so grateful, and people support us. It's incredible to me. But as soon as there's a little quote-unquote threat, and it's not a threat, it's just something that needs to be dealt with, I'm back into there's not enough and there won't be enough support and, tra-la-la-la-la, immediately. And so you can guess what I was working with in my meditation this morning. In fact, I've been quietly intending about this whole money thing for a while, and it's a growth process for me. So that's just something I manifested perfectly for me. Poor Sang Marie and his poor head. Hi, Laura. Hi, Eric. And that's all perfect too, because we all manifest exactly what we need, whether we like it or not. That's another story. So the point being that my state of being about money, which has been very limited for a very long time, it's not so limited now, that is my state of being. That is what the universe must endorse. And a lot of the time, consciously, I'm aware of being in a better state about it. I'm aware of knowing that, things keep turning up and the lid is sort of lifting slowly. It's only lifting slowly because there's still so much glue holding it down. And I just got to see a little bit more of the glue. So the point being that when the frustration comes, when the unexpected knee-jerk fear, which is like yanks you out of the reality that you're creating, says, no, you don't believe this yet. You don't really hold this yet. Joshua, good morning, sweetie. That's for me. That is a blessing for me to say, okay, I'm not in the state yet of absolutely knowing that I can create money out of thin air, which, by the way, is actually the truth. That's a long discussion. This is something that I'm just coming into. If I am the source, if I don't need to go and put in hours and earn dollars, if I don't, it is really possible because I've seen people do it. We create with our thoughts and our feelings, and what I'm trying to illustrate is that what we think we're thinking and feeling is often not what we're really thinking and feeling. There's a whole chunk of us that we don't know we're thinking and feeling. And yesterday, I got a really clear snapshot, an instant awareness of the gap between what the state of being that I'm wanting to hold and create and be about money. It could be about health or a relationship or a purposeful job or just a boss that you like or whatever, and what I really feel about it. What I unconsciously don't know that is actually my truth, which is there's not enough. Any extra demands are going to just mean that there's less later, and there's no support and all my old fears. So they're not as screaming, they're not Tyrannosaurus Rex sized anymore, but they're still saber-toothed tiger sized. And I can wrangle them, I can change it, that's the process I'm in. So when the frustration comes and where the feck is it, and why did, I couldn't see your whole comment, Linda, but, why did my friend not manifest the thing that they needed? Why do bad things happen to good people? I think this is part of the why. I do. I really do. I've seen it happen over and over, that people are saying affirmations and they're posting all the positive stuff, but when they experience the resistance, because it's the thing, I've got to overcome my resistance, which has been really very deep about, money and abundance and all that. I've got to overcome myself, and I need to become somebody who knows that I am the source of it. That I don't have to do a damn thing. I just have to hold this space of enoughness. Cool, mister, you got it. See, you're waking up, honey. You used to be so not able to get that information, and now you look at your situation, you look at what's come, you think, oh, shit, that means this. Oh, poo, I got to overcome myself some more. But you don't just throw up your hands and say, well, it's too hard, there must be something wrong with me, it's not working. It is working. This is something that my inspiration, Joe Dispenza, says. And it's really true, and it utterly got me when he said it. And I listened to it more than once because it's on a recording that I listen to. Because I go back over these things because I didn't get it the first time. And I can't remember how it starts. But this is my translation. If I want to move into a new state of being, if I want to create a new life, if I want to translate myself into a different reality, I have to face up to and overcome and stop being the very part of myself that isn't going where I want to go. And when you meet the frustration, our minds are totally a 3D printer. When you meet the frustration, when you meet the difficulty, when you meet the it's not fucking happening, when you meet, all of that, that is the process of you overcoming yourself. Now, how you do it, that's individual to everybody. I rave about my work with Joe because it works for me. It really does. Oh, my goodness. But this is the thing. When it's not happening, it just means, really, bottom line, I'm not that person yet. I'm not that person who never even has to think about money. I'm not yet that person who is so absolutely sure and certain about it that there's no fear. Now, am I upset about the fact that I'm not that person? Do you see me being upset? No. It's just, this is my current challenge. This is my current adventure to overcome, to free myself from my old pains and my old frustrations and stop being all of that. I have to become it. And the thing is that when you've got deep challenge, when you've spent a lifetime, however long, being the way you've been, or you've had a very traumatic experience, and suddenly, your world has come to the end, to an end, and suddenly it's like you're completely jolted out of everything you knew, and you're in complete shock and trauma and everything else. There's a lot to overcome. And it's absolutely true, Joshua, that what we are seeking is seeking us. But it can't get to us until we are in the same tune. The thing of, have you ever had a pair of wine glasses? They've got to be the same wine glass, and you wet your finger and you rub it along the rim of one and it sings, and the other one is not touching it, but it's, it's close, and it starts to sing with it. Because the like resonance activates the same resonance in the other wine glass. And this is just the pure, painful, empowering truth. That we are wine glasses all the time. And whatever is in our lives, somehow, not consciously a lot of the time, somehow I'm creating that. Of course you're doing the work, mister. You wouldn't be here. You would have buggered off and said, oh, screw this, I'm just going to carry on being who I am because it's too hard to become someone else. I know you're doing the work. I know you're doing the work. I can tell. So, we have to become and we have to overcome. And we can't just do it, for the hour or two in the morning when I'm in my meditation space, where I can actually, I'm so far in the unified field, I'm beyond myself, that, my memories and all my lack and everything else are not there. In that space, I'm becoming more familiar with the really, truly abundant me that doesn't even need to think about money. And somebody can say, I need $250,000. And there might be $250,000 in the account. And I would say, here it is. And I know there's another million coming tomorrow, even though I have no idea where from. That kind of mind, I'm just beginning to envision and sense and feel into and imagine what it's like to be that person. But then I got to come out of that space and live from that space. Moment by moment, minute by hour, by day, by week, by month, by year. And when I'm really good at that, I won't think about money, but there'll be plenty of it. There'll be tons of it to do the things that I came here to do. That's just how it works. And like I say, it's a painful, amazing, empowering truth. We have to face ourselves and we have to overcome ourselves. And the frustration is the very part of you that's not going there. So whatever tools you use, understand it's there for you. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you so you can see yourself and decide who you're going to be. Get to know somebody else and become that person and live that new life. Right in the middle of the old one. And then you get so busy you're living your new life, you're going to look up and see that things have changed and you didn't even notice. Because you were so busy having the daily breakthroughs and being that new person. Absolutely. That is doing the work. And everyone who does that, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of me. So, that's the update. If you're going to be here in 3.5 hours, I'm going to give you the proper update on our dear seeing Marie, who you see is so much part of my journey. And I'm so much part of his, and you're part of mine, and I'm part of yours. So if you want to be on in 3.5 hours, I'll tell you what's going on in the Gambia. Big love. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.